Hello and welcome to another First Impressions review of myself, Amata. Today we're having a look at a game by the name of Samurai Riot. Now this isn't a promotional video or anything like that, but we were given the key for review, so do keep in mind that I did not pay for this game out of my own money. This was given to us by the developers most kindly as well. Now this is by Wako Factory, and it is a brawler that you'll probably find quite familiar if you played, well, any of the brawlers like, you know, Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, and obviously the more recent ones like Shank and Shank 2. It is only £10, but it is currently 10% off on Steam, so it is a fairly cheap and cheerful game, and it has quite a interesting art style that you'll see in just a second. But let's just go through the menu. As you can see, the options are fairly limited, but again, given the graphic style, you don't really need like fancy options, to be honest. You've got separate options for these. There's no really voice in the game that I've heard other than the character grunts, so that's not really anything you need to worry about. You can see all your controls here. I am currently using a controller because I'm not insane, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure some of you will be like, yeah, I'll use a keyboard, it's fine, but for this sort of game I just really prefer a controller. Now you may notice that there's player 1 and player 2 on the screen here. This game does actually have local co-op. Now, it's only local, unfortunately, but it's hardly surprising given that it's a fairly cheap game. They weren't able to get online multiplayer working, but this does have local co-op, which is quite nice. So, all that jabbering out of the way, let's get into the game, shall we? Right, so as you can see, I'm playing this on my own, which is why the second character just kind of ran off there. Now, when you start the game, you can actually choose between sort of 4 starting abilities. You have more health, that sort of thing. I chose the double jump ability, but to be honest, I wish I hadn't. It's not really all that useful. I mean, when I was on the menu, obviously I hadn't played the game at all, so I was like, oh, double jump, that would definitely come in handy. And the answer is not really, because you jump so high anyway. I've never really had a need for double jump. Maybe it'll come in handy later, but at least within my playtime, which is a couple of hours, well, an hour-ish. This game is fairly simplistic. It hasn't really come in handy all that much. Now, as I get on, you will see that we've got, got your planes here, and you've got your basic attacks that you'll see in just a second. Now, this game does actually have a choice fairly early on in the game, and there seems to be choices several other choices throughout the latter parts of the game as well that gives you different endings. So if what I'm seeing is different from what you've perhaps played or whatever, that's probably why. So, let's show you some combat, shall we? Right, as you can see... Oh, come back. Oh, I don't even know what I just missed there, but I missed a fat raccoon of some description. So you've got your basic combos here, and you also have your dodge, which is just this little flip thing. Now, your little fox friend is here for more than just decoration. He actually comes into the combat quite a lot. He's quite a helpful little fellow, and the combat is actually a bit more complex than it seems at the start. Now, one of my main criticisms of the game is that it doesn't have a tutorial of any description, really, so the start of the game can be a little confusing. I didn't actually realise there was these abilities that I'm doing here, like this one. I didn't even realise that was a thing until I looked at the command list, which you can see here. There's quite a lot of abilities that just give a bit more nuance to the combat. Obviously, it's, we're not talking like fighting game level of combos here or anything like this. This isn't like a super complex system, but it is more complex than it initially seems when you are, at the start of the game figuring out what all the buttons do because there's no tutorial. So as you can see, we have very special attacks that use our fox friend, and we also have some Furies at the bottom here. So yeah, if there's one thing I would say is that they need a tutorial. I mean, they don't necessarily have to tell you all these moves, but you know, they should mention that it's there. Now, as I was saying, the Furies use that red bar underneath your... Well, you see that you've got three things at the top. You've got your health, which is the orbs, and you've got the sword, which is your health, and then the red bar, which is your sort of meter for special attacks. Ow. As you can see, it does fill in as you take damage. Oh, come on. Right, let's use one of my specials here if I can... There we go. As you can see, that consumed one level of my bar there. As for our little fox friend, we have some fairly short cooldown abilities, like this sort of bomb thing. That's the bomb on the command list there. And we've also got this move, which I quite like, which helps clear out the crowds. Now, the enemies in this game aren't particularly threatening on their own, but the game loves to swarm you, is the thing, as brawlers tend to do. They love to swarm you. So the little fox fella is actually quite vital for clearing out some of the hordes and making sure you don't get your ass absolutely kicked. So yeah, the combat is not like super complex, but it is more nuanced than it first appears. But overall, I would say like it's fairly simplistic, as brawlers tend to be. They're not going to have like super complex fighting systems most of the time. You know, probably one of the more complex ones I've seen is Mother Russia Bleeds, and I can only say that's more complex because you can pick literally any object off of the ground and use it as a weapon, and obviously you can draw necro and stuff like that. Go watch my video on that if you haven't already, because Mother Russia Bleeds is really good, and you should all play it if you like brawlers. So, as you can see, these enemies are quite annoying, as they tend to block like half my attacks. Ow, and they hurt quite a bit. Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, Kitsune's back, so we can try and clear these guys out a little bit. And I just died, because I'm bad. Now, one thing this game is fairly generous with is giving you, more lives and that sort of thing. I say generous, like if you do well enough, you will get more lives at the end when it kind of racks up your points and that sort of thing. So, you know, what you do is be careful and not take a bunch of damage like I currently am. It is not like super unforgiving or anything like that. And as with other fighting games like Streets of Rage and so on, you can find objects in the world that you can smash for like money and a little bit of health, and sake, which seems to fill up your meter for specials to full or halfway, depending on obviously the level of the item, as you might expect. So yeah, as I said, it has a fairly unique style in terms of its graphics, as I already said. It does remind me a little bit of Shank. Obviously, it's not like exactly. Alright, this weird raccoon is back. Is it kind of like the dwarves in Golden Axe, I guess? Oh, I've not seen this enemy before. He's weird looking. He's a weird turtle thing, I guess? Ow! Holy crap. Okay, I need to not get greedy with him because he's kicking my ass. Right, let's take this health. Oh, I missed. Missed. There we go. Right. Ow! Ow, 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 ow. Holy crap. Oh, come on, stop missing, you failure. There you go. Ah. There we go. Ooh, owie, 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 owie. Did you just hurt my fox friend? I think he did. He was very mean. I know he's biting you and stuff, but that's still mean. God, how much damage is this guy going to take? I mean, seriously. Ow! Come on. Excuse me. There you go. Hui! As you can see, I got my arse absolutely kicked there. Ooh, but I did get an extra life. Whew. Oh, another one? Bloody hell. So yeah, as you can see, like, the enemy variety isn't brilliant, to be honest. It's a lot of the same... it's all of the same type, just kind of recoloured, but one thing that is good about it is the colourings of even the different types of enemies do make it clear like what attacks they do and don't have. Like, for example, you might have noticed earlier with the sort of female enemies with the nunchucks or whatever they are. Owie, extra life I got, just gone. That the different coloured one does like a sort of uppercut, that sort of thing. So it does kind of give you like, oh, this one's like at the next level of that enemy, that sort of thing, which is obviously something that has been in brawlers since Streets of Rage, like with those whip women. If they were the ones with the black clothing, they were massive pains in the arse and that sort of thing. So it is kind of a tradition thing, I suppose, to have that. That was a waste. I didn't know he was like one hit away from dying. Oh well. Oh well. Can I break this? No. Alright, let's see what's in here. Some health. I don't really need it right now, but I probably will because I'm bad. So yeah, this game is obviously fairly cheap, but I think if you are into your brawlers, that you should give this a look-see. The only other main criticism I would say, other than the tutorial issue, is the fact that the music can be a bit repetitive. And there's nothing wrong with the music exactly. It's pretty decent, and obviously it sets the tone, and fits the theme quite nicely. But because the stages are quite long, when you've got the same music just kind of repeating, it does kind of drive you batty after a while. But that could just be me being terrible and taking too long to get these attacks off and all that sort of thing. Bloody hell. Bloody cloud wannabe pissing me off. Go away, come on, go away. It's like, sure you can. Two of that game. There we go. Oh, come on. Do I have enough? Yep, I do. There we go. Beautiful. So yeah, overall my thoughts on this game are pretty damn good. I'm enjoying it very much, and think that, you know, simplistic is not necessarily bad. If it pulls off what it's trying to do well, and this game definitely does, then hell yeah, sign me up. Not every game has to be like a super complex masterpiece. This game has well realised combat, you know, the combat feels meaty, it doesn't feel, you know, lightweight or anything like that, you know, the extra combos and stuff add a bit of sort of finesse to the system, and while the story is fairly generic samurai nonsense, I think the theme definitely carries this game. And obviously, speaking of the story, when I've only played a little bit of it, it's hard to really comment overall. It doesn't seem particularly, like, you know, nuanced or anything at the minute, but, you know, I don't think you're really playing a game like this for the story, in all honesty. You're playing it to beat up interesting enemies, see cool areas, and pull off some cool stuff, and obviously defeat bosses, and obviously whether or not you enjoy the theme of this particular brawler is going to be absolutely critical, and I definitely do. So take this as a definitely would recommend if you're into your brawlers stamp from me. I know it's not very it's not very snappy, but you know, it works. Ow! When their eyes kind of like go all big like that, honestly makes them look like they're on drugs. It really does. It's like, oh man, my tab's just kicking in, man. What are you doing? Clearly he thinks I'm some sort of like, you know, shrooms hallucination or something. Come on. Ooh, that was actually really lucky. Okay, that's not at all what I meant to do. No, raccoon! God damn it. Alright, let's kick his ass. Again, he was one hit away from dying. I'm just flailing wildly at nothing, like, I need to stop doing that when I'm like a million miles away from the enemy. There's another one, Y and B, that I've never actually been able to pull off, so I'm going to try that one, I think, before the end of the video. To see if I can see what is cracking there. Ow, ow, ow. Oh no, this does make me laugh every time that comes up like, oh no. Oh no, you're terrible. Oh no. Come on, little fella. Come on. Come on, little fella. Come on. There we go. Alright. I think I'll show you guys a boss and we'll probably be goodish to call the video. Yeah, but you can probably hear what I'm saying about the music. It's like, it's fine. It's, again, fits the theme. It's not like it's badly composed or anything, but I don't know, I'm from those people, like, after I hear the same song for too long, it starts to really drive me batty. So maybe it's just a personal thing. And obviously, the fact that I'm taking almost 15 minutes and I'm not even at the boss yet, it probably isn't helping. There's probably like a speedrunner out there like, puh, puh, pitiful scum, you know, like, come on, you can do better than that. And I'm like, no, not really, because I'm terrible, so... Ooh. Alright, I'm almost charged up. Ow! Oh, come on. Right, let's get back off over here, charge him up, there we go, beautiful, alright. Huh. I held Y and B and nothing happened. Do I need like 2 levels of it or something? Let's have a look. Oh, that's not what I'm meant to do. Oh, yeah, I see, the colours of the character. So you need yellow for the combo that I've been using and red for the iron shower. Okay, so I don't have the stuff for it yet. There we go, beautiful. Probably a bit of a waste of that, ow! Of a fairly large cooldown move there with the sort of smoke bomb attack, but because obviously if I use a move like that, I'm completely without my fox fellow for a good while. As you can see, I'm charging up there underneath my sort of combo meter thing. Come on. Definitely living a bit dangerously with these guys. That bloody shell attack is really irritating. Ow! Ew. That feels like it hurts a lot. That's what I'm saying. Like the combat is actually fairly meaty. if as I said, a little bit simplistic, but again, it has enough depth to make it interesting. You know, I've played some systems where this is just like, oh, this basic combo is all I have. Okay then. Alright, let's get some space so I can do this. Ooh, one down. Well, yes, stop with that. There we go. If I could not fight any more, you know, budget Bowsers, that would be wonderful. Ooh, I see you. Come back. Come back. There we go. I'll have that. Right, can I break this? No. Didn't think so, but it's worth a try. Right, I'd like to get to the boss at some point in this Century game. Because just saying. Ow! Damn it, I'm only in one life. That's actually really bad. I need to stop eating those attacks because they actually hurt quite a bit. She says as she eats another attack. Come on. Stop sucking your entire life. I'm getting too greedy, that's the problem. Getting way too greedy. Right, let's back off. Okay, definitely back off now that he's doing that. Ooh, that was lucky. Ow, ow, ow! Now, ooh. That's it, I'm on 0 lives now. If I die now, that's it. I have to do this whole stage all over again. I don't get to show you guys the boss. That would be terrible. Oh, God. Oy, 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 oy. I'm going to get a poor rating for this one, because to be fair, I have been playing like absolute arse, so I deserve a poor rating. So, you know what? I'm sick of your bullshit. Oh God, another one! God damn it. I'm dead. Oh, game over. Guess now we can see what happens when you die for reals. And the answer is you probably have to redo the entire thing. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You are... No. No, you are joking. You are absolutely joking. I can't continue? Oh, I need to see. Yeah, this is the screen I was telling you about. I suppose it's a good way to show you this. Yeah. Fury bonus, boost in health, extra life. Double jump, again, not really useful. Sure, it's going to start me right at the beginning again, isn't it? Yep. Yeah, it is. Oh my God. Oh, wow. That's a bit much, game, just saying. Like, start me back at the... I don't care, like... Oh, wow. Yeah, this is the start of the game. Okay, so, that's the thing. If you die, you literally have to start the entire game over again, rather than just, you know, restarting the level that you were on. Perhaps make that not a thing. You know, I'm going to have to retract some of what I said. Like, I still recommend this game, but that's a bit much. Just saying. So, yeah, I still recommend this game, but just keep that in mind, that you don't just restart the stage. I guess it is going old school brawler style, where if you die properly, that's it. Tough luck. Back to the start of the game you go. But that's a little frustrating, to be honest. Just because old school games did it doesn't make it good. I suppose it fits with the theme. But yeah. Alright guys, that's me done for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.